Welcome back to our competitor series breakdown. I'm Amy Milner, EVP of Marketing, and I'm with Eric Watkins, President of Abstrakt.
How's it going, Amy?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. Well, the reason we're doing this series, again, isn't just to talk about competitors. It's to educate business leaders on why outbound is absolutely crucial to your business. If you want predictable, consistent growth, you need an outbound approach. That's what separates companies who are going to scale and continue to grow and those who are going to plateau. So getting into it today, we are talking about the Martal Group.
Martal
Group, 15 years in business. They really pride themselves on proprietary AI outreach system powered by humans. I'm seeing some similarities in these we're talking about. Yeah. Core services are appointment setting, sales outsourcing, end-to-end sales, LinkedIn lead gen, cold email, cold calling, and then they have an entire AI sales platform. They primarily work through email, the phone, and LinkedIn, and they highlight 200 plus onshore sales executives and thousands of qualified leads generated. What do you want to talk about first today?
Yeah, so this is a competitor that we come up pretty frequently against, and I would say on brand, they're what you look for in a sales development company. Just, being honest up front. They do multiple channels and they are heavier on cold calling, which we have seen adds more predictability through the process. So this will be a good one today because I feel like they are one of the legitimate people that are out there doing this work.
I agree. And I have to say thank you also because we started this series with talking about us not being on any lists, and they actually did feature us on their list. So
did they?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I said something nice.
Yes. All right. What about lead quality? We're going to start with that. What does lead quality mean to you in the sales development lead generation company space? And how do you think we're comparing and contrasting?
Yeah, pretty simply, lead quality to me, because everybody has a different definition, is right company, right person, and they clearly agree to meet to talk about your services. And a lot of people talk about being qualified or somebody that's all the way down the funnel. And we do that for some customers. And obviously you get less opportunities than we would without. But ultimately what we believe in and what we use as a business is I want to talk to the right companies and I want to talk to the right person at a company. And I think that's a really important item to clarify when you're looking at these companies of what exactly is their definition of an appointment. And if it's they talk in a circle and it's long-winded, then they probably don't have a good answer for it.
All right, so how do you think the human element of your actual SDR team and them being onshore could impact the lead quality of doing just completely AI or offshoring all of your SDR team?
Sure, yeah, and I look at offshoring similar to remote, and I know there's an accent barrier and what your first language was, et cetera, but ultimately, to me, it's hard to really have high quality when you're not sitting on a team with someone coaching you every day. So it looks like a benefit they have is they have resources all over Latin America and Canada and the US. And so they can probably service a lot of different parts of the world. The downside to that would be they probably can't get very hands-on with their coaching and development. And for someone who has been doing this for 13 years, it's really hard to train and develop somebody remotely. Mm-hmm. And then also if you're remote, you're kind of just doing your job every day and not necessarily always focused on how you can improve because there may not be a lot of room for upward mobility.
The camaraderie of a cold call team is incomparable. So I could totally see how people looking in, you're going to have a more motivated team by being able to be coached in person, being around your team. I think we like to say here that you're putting that client's team jersey on.
For sure.
When you walk in the door every day. And so being able to do that as a team too, and not just as an individual, I think has a direct impact on the quality of our leads.
Well, think about yourself, right? How many times have you pulled up the chair alongside an SDR and been able to hear something that allows you to make a tweak right there on the spot? And you can
frantically message them on Teams, say this.
Yeah, it's not just, you could say, oh, well, I can listen to their call recordings remotely, but it's body language, it's everything. It's how confident they feel with the message. I think that's super critical.
Lead quality really takes me into our hot button topic today, exclusivity. So that's something that we're going to really dive into today that we tout, and not a lot of other, if any, lead gen sales development companies out there are doing that. So tying it into lead quality, Do you think a lead can even be considered quality if it's being shared with multiple other companies in the same metro?
I guess you could say yes, but I would say no. And there's two ways to look at this. You can work exclusively with a partner, and then every lead you generate is theirs and only theirs. And then there's a lot of other models, and I'm not sure of their exact model, where they may be working with 5 people that do the same thing. They generate somebody that's interested in their service, and then they give them to all 5. So I look at it as you took the quality of the lead and you divided it by 5. If it was 100%, now it's 20%, because now I'm competing against 5 other people. And to run a true outbound process, I feel like it's competitive and, it's almost predatory on the market that you're going after in a good way. And if you're sharing that with one another, I think it's less effective, right? Because it's the consistent message over and over. And if they're hearing that from other companies, I'm not a huge believer in that.
You're diluting the lead.
Right.
The lead, and they're going to get tired of meeting with the same type of company one after another if they're being set up on all of these meetings.
Well, and I get it. I get why they do it. They make more money, right?
Yeah.
We're probably leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
By doing exclusivity, but I sleep a little better at night knowing what we're doing for partners, and I think we're more effective because of that and have quite higher quality meetings. And
retention too. When people are dominating a market by themselves, they're going to stay year after year because they end up scooping up all of the business. Guarantees and accountability. So they have a myriad number of different programs, and you can add in a hybrid pay per lead. We are obviously a pay per month model, and then we don't take a dime out of any commission that our clients sell. So what's your thoughts on guarantees and what's on their site in terms of pricing?
Guarantees are important. And I think they're important because it shows how confident the company is in achieving the results that they want to on your behalf. I would be careful on too good of a guarantee. If it's too good of a guarantee, it's a sign that nobody's buying it and they may be trying to get you in the door and scam you. But for us, for example, we have an annual guarantee, and if we don't hit that, we work for free until we do. And it doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, we do it. And I think that helps, especially if I was in the sales process, knowing at the end of the day, I'm going to get these meetings. It's just, if it takes a couple extra months, then it takes a couple extra months. So I think that's really important. And I know they do some end-to-end selling as well. So I'm curious what types of guarantees they offer from that perspective.
I actually am a little jealous that they do that. I think that's something that I have always been interested in. I've done the account management role, you have too, and I know there's been times where we wanted to take even more of the reins for our partners and help them with their sales.
For sure.
Especially the ones that don't have a sales process in place. So what do you think about that? I think that's something that I don't know how it works there exactly and what results they're getting, but I do envy that they're doing that as a product.
First off, to your point, I like that they're doing it. I think it shows that they're credible and confident enough as an organization of, hey, we'll take the leads we're setting for you and we'll close some deals and sell them. To me, there's a lot of red flags in that. I just think about myself. Say, I know we would never do this because we are a sales organization, but let's say we outsource our sales to them. I think about just our own sales team that's in the building working with our implementations team and how many questions and things come up of what was said in the sales process and what. I think it really reduces continuity, and I think it could lead to some churn issues on the back end.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that is I think every business, it's kind of like sales is like a muscle, and if you don't use it, you lose it. And so when you become so dependent on somebody else to sell your service, let's say they can't figure it out, what have you've set yourself back as a business a lot of months and years, frankly. And I think it's a slippery slope. Now, it sounds great in theory, and if it works, great, more power to you. But I think it's tough. And I guess the last thing I would say, I'm no one going long here, but it's a big topic, complexity of the sale. If you expect for some of the clients that we work with to expect that we could sell their service is insane.
Yeah.
There's so many intricacies just to be able to come up with a quote for some of the services we offer. I don't see how they're going to train a rep, probably remotely, on how to sell these services and have them do all of that. Sounds like a little bit of a headache. So congratulations to them for at least figuring out where they can offer it. But
yeah,
not a huge fan of it.
That's the one time I think I've disagreed with you on
Yeah.
this. But no, I totally could see the perspective of the continuity. I do think that it's cool that they're owning up to the accountability of the lead.
It is pretty cool.
Being fascinated by that, with being in charge of sales development and providing the lead, so being able to stand up to that. And I heard a quote one time on a podcast that said sales enablement and sales development's job isn't done until the first 2 invoices, of a client are collected and through, and they're really on their way to the partnership. So I've always just been fascinated by the full end-to-end sales.
That is true. And maybe we need to dip our toes in it and figure it out, because I do know that's the downside of what all of us do. Is you are completely reliant upon the partner that you work with. It takes 2 to tango.
We have some incredible sales reps here that are selling in our core niches and the partners we work with. And I think we've talked about sometimes of like having sales consultants.
Sure.
Maybe we don't do the full end-to-end sales, but they buy a package of X amount of sales calls that our sales team could attend with them. But it's just an idea. They inspire me by that. Okay, a guarantee means nothing without accountability at the end of the year. So what would you say about our accountability to our guarantees, and then what else is out there?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different models. There is a very cancel whenever you want, and there's probably not much of a guarantee associated with it because they're guaranteeing their service through you having the ability to exit. Then there's the annual guarantees, and that's what I typically see with the more established firms like ourselves, where they've run the data. They don't give those numbers out lightly. They may even be less than what some other people quote. Yeah. But they know, they're very confident they're going to hit those because they don't ever want to work for free, right? And then you have the pay per appointment model. And I know you mentioned they offer like a hybrid pay per appointment. I'm sure that's like a small base fee, and then pay per appointment from there. I hate that. And the reason why I hate that is it takes the focus off of sales, which is what it's all about at the end of the day, in closing business. It puts it on what counted as an appointment, what didn't. And I find that, because we did it at certain points in our career, and I just found we were just working against each other. It wasn't a true partnership. And so I know that's not, some people don't go for anything that's not pay per appointment, but I think they're constantly churning vendors because of that reason.
I'm on their website and I just saw they do B2B sales training. So what
I
just
did
talked
see
about.
that
So
earlier,
they do. They have like 10 people on their team that are actually training their clients to become top sellers. So that's really cool. One thing I guess we do have, though, in the era of sales training is we have our sales toolkit. So that is one service that I don't see that they provide. They have the LinkedIn, they have the omni-channel, but we have something called a sales toolkit that we offer to our clients, and that's all of the materials that they would need to go out on these appointments. So could you talk to me a little bit about that and why we think that's so important?
Sure. We sort of lucked into this. Our owners who started the company did this before. They created direct mailers and did marketing for the automotive industry. So at our core, we've always had a marketing and branding aspect to make sure that we're being represented. If you saw us when we started out, we looked like we were a $10 million company and we had $50,000 in revenue. And so we always knew that played a huge part in the sales process. And so now we have an established agency. We work with 3 of the largest 5 companies in the world, and our clients get the benefit of that. And so you see on a lot of these sites of people running inbound campaigns and different things. And so they do the SEO and the pay-per-click, but you can't just really do Google anymore. You have to venture out into AI and YouTube and all these other channels. And at the core of all, direct mail. And at the core of all that is a strong brand. And so having a company that can not just get something out the door, but it also look appealing and market your organization is critical. And it's just not just them. I haven't seen it on a lot of sites, frankly.
Softening the ground for the actual cold call and the hard work.
Yeah. Because they usually don't go hand in hand, right?
No.
You got people who are really good at sales, and then you have people who are really good at marketing. And there's agencies, and then there's sales development companies. So that is a little mix that we have that's
marketing
really nice.
Is sales.
Marketing is sales. Absolutely.
Sales is marketing.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Eric. I love doing this series with you. And just again, a reminder, it is crucial for your business to do something with outbound. You need an outbound predictable approach for your sales pipeline. Abstrakt has been in business over 15 years. We've been on the Inc. 5000 list over 10 times. We have over 1,800 clients, and we're a leader in the space. And we make marketing sales here and sales marketing, and we blend it together. So just use something, right, Eric?
Yeah. Use us, use somebody else, do it yourself. Nike, just do it.
Just do it.